Let's get back to module stomping for a bit. So we've discussed some memory artifacts that can be removed when you use module stomping, right? Well, there is one additional thing which you should consider as well. So let's go to payload exec, open up this code, and let's compile it as well. So currently, if you run it, it's exactly the same code running with module stomping. So we have a new thread here, right? Windows storage has been loaded and called our message box, so our shellcode. Now, the problem with that technique is that it creates an additional thread. Okay, it is important because you have to understand that some EDRs and some AV engine as well can detect that kind of activity. So a creation of new thread, for example. Okay, and even if you remove hooks from your process, EDRs are still able to detect that kind of thread creation, because this event is visible on the kernel level. Okay, and for stealthiness, you might want to avoid that, so you have to find another way of executing your payload without creating a thread. The basic principle here is to hijack an execution of an existing thread. Okay, so let's do that, and let's see other ways of executing payload without creating new thread. So let's scroll down, and one natural thing, so the code is similar to the one we've discussed earlier. So one of the methods you can use here is to just call our shellcode via a pointer. Okay, so we create a pointer to a function which doesn't take any arguments, and we assign the address of the pointer to that function, and we just call that function. Okay, so if we recompile our program and we run implant, so let's see. So we have two threads, right, currently, and let's hit enter. So our code got executed, but no new thread created. And the reason is it is actually running as our main thread, which is this one. Okay, the call stack is starting from Windows storage, so from our shellcode, and our message box is being popped up. So from the kernel level, this sort of activity cannot be seen, at least if something is watching for new thread creations. But this technique has also some drawback, which is if our payload exits, okay, or just stops the execution, our main thread gets killed, and basically this process does not continue to run. Okay, so if you hijack a main thread in the process, it will just get killed, or it will hang in the memory. Let me try to run it again and see if we can get that situation. Yeah, so now implant.exe is still in the process. Implant is still in the memory, but it, our main thread is gone. So it's sort of like a zombie process right now, okay? Which is a bad thing. So let's kill that. Another technique you can use to hijack one of the threads is to call our payload using some of the Win API functions that are available on Windows. One of them is enum thread windows, and there are a lot of that kind of functions. These functions get one of the parameters as the callback pointer to the callback, which basically means that this function will call specific callback pointed by the second parameter. Okay, so let's save that and recompile, and the situation should be pretty much similar. So if we run implant, we see main thread here. If we hit enter, we're still there. Okay, we are running our payload right now, but if we hit OK, the main thread is gone, and some additional threads are left. Okay, so yep, as I said, there are many such functions available. Here you have two less popular, so enum thread windows or enum child windows, and that you can use for this technique.